everybody, and welcome to the news. It is me, Ash, joined by Josh.
Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Very, very good after all of this San Diego Comic-Con news.
Ooh, the content is, it's ripe for the picking. It tastes so tasty and good. Now, let's talk about it, please.
Please get away from these weird metaphors.
Woohoo. But yeah, so there's loads of things that have happened at San Diego Comic-Con. Lots of them we're going to be talking about later on the channel. So we've had the big drop that Blade is coming back with Mahershala Ali from Green Book is going to be being Blade, which is fantastic, very exciting. More on that later. More on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse as well. More on Natalie Portman as Thor.
Yes, Queen.
Jeepers Creepers. And we're going to have a big Comic-Con roundup on the comics video. So you're wondering, what's its title? What's the title about the Avengers and Phase 4?
Tell me more, Ash. I don't know.
We're not going to have them.
Why?
Well, basically, because Disney Plus want to earn up their money. They're trying to get as much as they can on their Disney Plus thing.
Streaming service, I think is the words you're looking for.
Thank you, yeah. They're going to put as much as they can on there is basically the short answer for this. But I have way more notes than that.
Come on then. Whoa, again with the paper cuts.
Whoa.
Stop.
So Kevin Feige has been talking at San Diego Comic-Con, as he does, and he's given us the full Phase 4 slate for what we can expect. We've got 5 movies, we've got a bunch of TV series. It all looks very exciting.
Definitely.
Excited?
You know what? I encountered this announcement in the best possible way, I think. It was after a night out. I had been clubbing all night to Limp Bizkit's Rolling. I got back in with my chips, checked the internet, and then saw the lineup and just absolutely popped my pants off. Because it was...
what was the choice there? Pants or what?
You don't want to know. You really don't want to know what the choices were. Pop my pants off because they are the best. But go on. Tell me more.
Well, basically, there's a big quote here from him saying, "It is the complete Phase 4. The way I announced a complete Phase 3 5 years ago, things can move, things can change as they did if you go back and look over what we talked about 5 years ago for Phase 3. But we've been working on this for quite a while, it's pretty set." That's not what he said. But there are always changes possible. So that basically encompasses how we're going to have a very different phase setup than we've had for 3 previously, because we don't have Avengers, we don't have Guardians of the Galaxy, we don't have Spider-Man, we don't have all these people we've come to know and expect from cinematic outings that are going to come in Phase 4. Instead, we're getting WandaVision, we're getting
Loki,
we're getting
the Winter Soldier and Falcon.
You know these, I should know these, but yes, they're tucked away in my mind memory.
Get them out.
My mind memory vault.
It's a weird way to do a phase, because when I first saw it, I had the same question. I was thinking, is this all of Phase 4? Because he did mention stuff like Guardians, he mentioned Fantastic Four, and a lot of other projects, but I like that they're just doing a more considered kind of push. It feels like a sort of refresh after the major event that was the Infinity Saga wrapping up. It seems like it's going to establish the new normal, not only in the movie realm, but in the TV realm as well. Like, these are considered event-style TV shows that aren't just going to act as kind of like interludes or prequels, but they're going to directly tie in with the MCU proper. Like, these are not just kind of like the Netflix shows which exist in the same universe, but they're going to inform each other. I think even Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which is the best title ever. I think that directly sets up WandaVision because of Scarlet Witch's story. And I think it's an interesting way to do it, especially like when you don't have a major event, because Avengers as a name brand thing, when that does eventually come back, whether it's in Phase 5 or further down the road, when you see sort of potentially a title, this is how I imagine it in my mind. Let me pitch this to you. This is how the Avengers comes back. We've had this reset, then you're at Comic-Con, you see the sort of new title for the movie, it's Secret Wars. Then the top bit of it, in tiny letters, Avengers. The Avengers are back somehow. Don't know how, but that's how I imagine it. Imagine the pop when that happens.
The pants will be off.
The pants will be off.
The pants will be flying all over
and all
the
those
shop.
other words that I didn't manage to get out because I realised I was on YouTube.
But yeah, no, I think it's a really cool way of them doing it, with the whole informing way, the movies and the TV shows being one and the same, but I also feel like it's going to be a lot of money and commitment for people who are signing up to these services, because instead of just having a big cinematic outing that you can follow, which is, you know what, there's a movie a year, maybe 2 movies a year, 3 sometimes, I don't know, there's a few, but it's 3 hours at a time, and that's it. You go sit, you watch your film, you watch it a few times, you enjoy it, you get a few months before something else comes out and you can get ready for it. Whereas if it's TV series that are directly informing films and then directly informing other TV series, there's a really big timeline and lots of stuff that can get lost along the way, which is I don't know. Yeah, this Phase 4, it kind of, I'm skeptical about it.
I agree. It's going to be interesting. I like that. Although we're getting less movies in the phase, like you said, we're getting these TV shows, and it does require things to be tighter. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep up with. You know, they are sort of like limited series, so they're not going to be like season based. Yeah. But even then, if you're getting 2-3 movies a year, and then these 8-episode long TV shows, that's a lot of content with a capital C.
It's a big load of content that's going to be something to keep up with. But yeah, basically the short-term answer, again, to return back to it, is
why is there no Avengers?
Does Disney Plus just want the money in it? Like, that's what they want to do. They want to focus on
this base.
Yeah, I stole a little line from Simon's articles. There's loads on the website if you want to check those out, which was, so instead of us seeing a crowning event movie at the end of Phase 4 in place of an Avengers moment, what we're looking at is Disney's grab for subscribers to their streaming platform.
And you know what? It'll work as well.
It will work. It will work.
It was so ballsy to just come out with all of these TV shows alongside the movies and just be like, yeah, this is the MCU. It's not only movies anymore. We've also got these 6 shows, and they're exclusive to Disney Plus, so please go buy it. Ash, could I interest you in some non-superhero related news?
Please segue
We do have more. There are 2, as you may know, 2 Halloween movies coming out across the next few years. There is Halloween Kills in October 2020 and Halloween Ends in October 2021. You'll be pleased to know David Gordon Green, the director of the recent reboot, is back. He's co-writing once again with Danny McBride and a bunch of other co-writers. There's like 4 people writing the final movie, which is crazy. Jamie Lee Curtis is back to sort of complete this new trilogy.
Good.
And I'm excited, although, even though, I'm going to be honest with you, I have a confession to make.
Oh.
The recent Halloween reboot, I didn't like it so much. I thought it was a really good idea. I liked a lot of the shots in it. I just wasn't completely sold, but I'm still excited for this, which means it must have done something well. What do you think?
I think it's the first actual good Halloween sequel we've had since Halloween 2, maybe 3. I include 3. I like.
Yeah.
But 3 doesn't count as like a mainline Halloween.
It's not a Michael Myers movie.
It's not Michael Myers. So it's the best like actual reboot return sort of thing that we've had in ages. But the quality of the Halloween series doesn't mean that that's a very good compliment.
This is it. This is what I'm kind of worried about, because I think now we're seeing sort of these long overdue sequels kind of wash away the mythology of the franchises and just say, oh, this is a direct sequel to the first movie, or this is a direct sequel to the second movie. We haven't really seen that then extend to a larger franchise on its own. I think, again, I'm coming at it from a bit of more of a negative perspective because I didn't like the Halloween reboot, remake, sequel so much. But I think, whatever it was, that thing. But I think a lot of the things that movie did well was tying it directly to the original movie. So I wonder how that's going to stand on its own and be its own thing.
I think fans of the Halloween franchise are just so excited to see like Laurie Strode back and Jamie Lee Curtis there, like jabbing and stabbing and getting her own back, because this isn't going to be the end of it. It's called Halloween Ends, but it's not going to be the end of it. It's the thing, like it's not. We all know it's not. I like that they're doing it. I like that they've brought these people back. I'm happy to just celebrate all the nice things that it brings along and all of the nostalgia that it brings back. Yeah. But it's fair enough that you don't like it. I think that's fair. I personally do. I think that it's a better way of doing it. They've given it some breathing room as well to get to this point. But as long as it just doesn't keep on going and going and going and just dig its own grave again.
I agree. I mean, I'm with you in that I don't fully think it's going to end at Halloween Ends, but yet I like that they've got a kind of roadmap. You've got 2 movies to look forward to that will complete the trilogy. I like that Jamie Lee Curtis is back. That one of my favourite part of the reboot, remake, sequel, whatever it was Jamie Lee Curtis' story, and I feel like I wanted more of that in that movie, but now that we're getting it across 3 separate films, I'm alright with that.
I like the shooting back to back as well, because at least it'd be very coherent. We're going to get 2 long stories.
Because how many times have we had horror sequels announced that then just never get made?
Yeah, and then you got a whole big setup left hanging on a cliffhanger, and you don't get anything. So, you know what? Speaking of sequels...
Whoa, what a segue.
Whoa, talk about Picard.
Interesting. Star Trek Picard.
Star Trek Picard. It's the 8th installment in the Star Trek franchise, and Sir Patrick Stewart's coming back to feel like almost messed his name up there.
Really?
Yeah, but Sir Patrick Stewart's coming back.
Sir Ian McKellen's back as Captain Picard.
I got the Sir out and I was like, ooh. But yeah, he's back. He's going to be Picarding around. The trailer looks fantastic. Have you seen the trailer?
Yes, but it's good. The weird thing is, again, I was never really into Star Trek, right? Yeah, okay. But I always liked the iconography, and I'm so sorry. I always liked the iconography of Picard and Patrick Stewart. And then even watching this trailer for a show I never really watched, I was really excited.
It's emotional, isn't it?
It really is.
I was like, oh my God, Sir Patrick Stewart, what's going on? What has happened to you? But yeah, it picks up right after Nemesis, which is the 2002 film, and that spoilers, had a really horrible moment which saw Data die.
Yeah.
And so you have this trailer and it's showing you what's going to happen in this series, how he's going to be dealing with the aftermath of stuff in the Kelvin timeline with Romulus being destroyed, and we get to see a little peek of Data at the end. It's
Yes.
Oh, there he is. Oh, it's nice. But yeah, it's probably going to be a dream sequence or something, but that they're bringing back these characters. They have other ones they're bringing back as well.
Tell me more.
There's Data going to be in there, 7 of 9, Riker, Troy, and the Borg. All very strange names that are...
I know who the Borg is.
Well, there we go. There we go. So that's what matters. Those guys are all coming back as returning cast, and we're getting a bunch of new people to come along and basically figure out what the heck's going on. It's a new Star Trek with the old values that they want to keep in the canon that combines loads of different things that have been released recently. I think it's a nice idea, and people really love Picard as one of the Star Trek captains. So
well, I've seen nothing but positive things about this project on the internet, even before we had this trailer. You know what I mean? I think there is so much love for this character in that series, and just Star Trek in general. I think even though the end sort of opinion on Star Trek Discovery was more mixed than it might have been at the start, I think there's just kind of like a real love for Star Trek back now.
There is the Discovery. The Discovery is still getting a new series. There's also going to be another thing called Lower Decks, which is a half-hour animated show about ensigns, which are on a not important ship of the Starfleet. I don't know what all that's about. I don't know why they're doing it. Just whatever. Bit of a cartoon. But then they've got another Discovery series, which is neither here nor there. I don't think, it's 1,000 years in the future at this point, so they're trying to, again, keep it to the canon, keep things going and respect the storylines and keep it significantly Star Trek, but it's further ahead than they've ever been before, so they get to do the new things with Discovery and discover stuff.
Brilliant.
And then Picard is back to keep the faithful fans there, introduce new people to his legend.
But how does all this fit in with Quentin Tarantino's Star Trek? Tell me that.
How does it all fit in?
How does it?
You mean Pulp Fiction in space?
Pulp Fiction in space.
I don't know is the answer to that. We'll have to wait and see
as
to whether Tarantino can pull it out of the bag.
What was your favourite part of San Diego Comic-Con? What was the news that got you absolutely riled up just before we finish?
Ooh, the Blade, honestly, Blade.
Same,
Blade,
genuinely.
Honestly, big hype. I've seen all the pictures of people's fists, yes! It was so good.
I was, again, going back to my sad hangover story, but I was, when I woke up on the Sunday, I watched the Comic-Con, little reel when Mahershala Ali comes out, and I got emotional, Ash. I got teary-eyed. I thought, this is what I want. This is what I need.
Yeah, no, it's good. That's going to cure what ails you, if nothing else does. But yeah, that's been the news from San Diego Comic-Con. Please, loads more videos coming out on the little things. There's so many. We've got so many notes. There's so many panels. There's so many podcasts. There's all sorts. So yeah, keep up with those. Check out the Comics channel for Ewan's Roundup. Check out Josh for your video on
Doctor Strange.
There we go.
Check out Ash for your video on
the horror stuff. So there's Blade. There's going to be some different things in that. A little mention of stuff. But yeah, come back soon. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again sometime.
Goodbye. Bye.
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 Bye.